Like, what are you doing? But part Russell Wilson, being the veteran and the quarterback, should know better. When the play comes in, he should say, no, coach, I don't want to do that. But he wants to show everybody that, see, I can throw the ball and we can score a touchdown. You don't need to do that.
This is the
same sort of thing that happened in the Super Bowl against Seattle. On top of that, Nathaniel Hackett is the head coach. Reminds me a lot of his dad, Paul Hackett, who was USC's head coach, if you can remember, not very good. And so then you go into overtime. Now all of a sudden, you're gashing him. You get to the 2-yard line on 4th and 1. You elect to go in the shotgun after the timeout was called. And you then don't get him underneath center to put him on the move, possibly, or turn around and hand the damn football off. If you can't get a yard and a half and plunge it in, you don't deserve to win. You don't deserve to win the football game. And then, if you don't want to go from the 2-yard line and you elect to kick the field goal, you tie it up and you say to yourself, okay, now we're in a tiebreaker situation come playoff time. On Hackett, and it's on a veteran quarterback like Russell Wilson. Period. There's nothing else to talk about.
Key, I don't put this on Hackett. I put this all on Russell Wilson. Maybe it makes me think that maybe Hackett knew what the hell he was doing in week 1 in that game against the Seahawks when he decided to kick a 64-yard field goal instead of actually allowing Russ to go for it. So here's the interesting thing to me, what it comes down to, is you talk about run the ball, punching in. It reminds you of the Malcolm Butler pick, right, when you got Marshawn Lynch, 2015 Super Bowl, just punching in, Russell wanting to be the guy. So do you remember what Russell Wilson told Peter King at the beginning of the season about his relationship with Nathaniel Hackett? He said, this is not a coach-player relationship. This is a collaborative relationship. We are equals. We are seen as 50-50 partners. So when that timeout is called, and he's under center actually at first, it makes me wonder, after week 1, when all that pressure was on Nathaniel Hackett, right? Oh, well, you took the ball out of your quarterback's hands who makes close to $300 million. Okay, who do you think really made the change on that play to come out of the shotgun? I think that's more Russ than Nathaniel. I think that's Russ saying, hey, I want it to operate like this.
Can we back up for a second, Jay, based on what you just said? I think that's really interesting about week 1 because it was an odd choice to try to kick like the longest field goal ever to try to win when you have a $250 million quarterback, right? Is it possible that Nathaniel Hackett's thinking in that situation, man, I don't think this dude can get us the win right now. Let me take the heat. I'll try a field goal. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, everyone's going to be looking at me, not him.
You know what, Max? I don't know that. I don't know that because in that situation, you probably saw your kicker in pregame hitting it, practice hitting it, and you felt like, okay, he could do it. The odds were better for him to kick the field goal than try and score and throw a Hail Mary or whatever the case is or get a little bit closer. In week 1, it did not work. They were not at the 2-yard line. They didn't have the ball at the 15, 16-yard line in regulation when you could just turn around and hand the ball to Melvin Gordon, who had been gashing. All of a sudden, the running game got hot late in the 4th quarter for the Denver Broncos. The defense played well enough to win the damn game.
The same, as you pointed out, Key.
Doesn't make any sense.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know if you were going to go there, and you did. As you pointed out earlier, you said it's the same theme as the Super Bowl. It's the running game is working, the running game and defense is working, just game managed. Tom Brady never felt the need to be the guy, right, early in his career. If it's working, went with what was working. And it does seem like Russell Wilson, or the team that has him, wants to show everyone, look, he can win the game, and it does seem to cost them.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.